Well, I can't believe it, but here we are, the final week of the regular season as the Buffalo Bills are coming down to Hard Rock Stadium for Sunday Night Football with the AFC East title on the line. A whole lot to talk about, but first things first, I just got to say that I appreciate each and every one of you that takes the time to listen to me. I'm still baffled that people listen to me on a regular basis. And this has been the best year on the channel yet by far. Even the Bills fans, if they've came here from whatever dark corner of the internet that they were on before this, I still appreciate it. So, yeah, I really do. I don't even know what to say, but, it's not over yet. Regardless, the Dolphins will be in the playoffs no matter what, but I do still have to show appreciation. And if you're new here, subscribe to the channel if you can. I do preview videos every Wednesday and then an immediate reaction after the game every time the Miami Dolphins play. And, let's talk about this game. First things first is the playoff scenarios, because no matter what, the Miami Dolphins are in. So that's the silver lining here. If the Dolphins are to lose this game, we'll be headed up to Arrowhead to play the Kansas City Chiefs no matter what. And if we get to that bridge, we'll cross that bridge then. But that's what happens if we lose. If the Miami Dolphins win, we are the number 2 seed. And who we play is entirely dependent on what happens before the Dolphins and Bills game, because Dolphins-Bills is the last game of the regular season, so we'll know more about the stipulations when the game kicks off. As far as the Buffalo Bills go, the dream scenario for me, obviously, is that the Pittsburgh Steelers defeat the Baltimore Ravens, who have nothing to play for, and the Jacksonville Jaguars beat the Tennessee Titans. And at that point, if the Bills lose, they're out of the playoffs entirely. And for me, and for most Dolphins fans, actually all Dolphins fans, that's the dream scenario. Because I'll be honest with you, I don't know how much I like the prospect of going into this game, winning the AFC East title, and then our reward for that being play the Buffalo Bills again the next week. That is not what I want to happen. So whatever happens, happens, but that's probably, in my opinion, the scenario I would least like to see play out, because I don't want to win the AFC East and then immediately go and play the Bills again. But also, given that, if the Dolphins beat the Bills, win the AFC East, and then beat them again, that would be absolute best case scenario. So there will still be a silver lining there, but I still don't like that reward for winning the AFC East. We'll see what happens, though, come game time. I would much rather play against the Indianapolis Colts or something, because that then would be a dream scenario for me, right? Playing the Colts, get our first playoff win. I haven't even been alive to see the Miami Dolphins win a playoff game, to be honest with you. Well, I've been alive, but when does your conscience kick in? Let's say it kicks in at like 4 years old. So for me, it would have been 2002. Yeah, I don't think... I haven't had a conscience to see the Miami Dolphins win a playoff game, so I don't care who it's up against. Just get a win, and we'll see what happens week by week, right? Unfortunately, injuries is going to be a big part of this. A big part of the reason that I'm more pessimistic than I have been in past weeks about the Miami Dolphins. Xavier Howard's going to be out. Jalen Waddle most likely going to be out. Bradley Chubb, unfortunately, with that pointless injury, he's going to be out for the season. Raheem Mostert up in the air. He was supposed to play Sunday, but didn't. And Omar Kelly, Dolphins beat writer, says that it's a serious injury. Now, was Omar putting that out there for clicks, or was it real? I don't know. Obviously, Dolphins is the way that he feeds his family. That's his job. So he's going to be a little more lenient to doing what it takes for clicks, which I understand. Not mad at the guy. I'm just putting that out there. It's a fact. Because if it's your livelihood on the line, you're going to do whatever the hell it takes to get people to click on your shit. So, I mean, take it with a grain of salt, right? Still a lot of respect for the guy. But as far as the actual game goes, if we're looking at the Miami Dolphins defense, Josh Allen has absolutely owned the Miami Dolphins throughout his entire career. And I know Dolphins fans hate to hear it because I hate the Bills too. I'm the number one Bills Mafia hater in the entire world probably. But that doesn't change the fact that Josh Allen is an absolute dynamic monster on the football field. I mean, as far as running the ball alone, he's like tackling a fucking mule. There was a play last week where he was getting tackled by Patriot defenders, and a Patriot flew out and absolutely destroyed him in the head. He just shot right back up. I mean, you could tell it rung his bell, but he got back up, finished the game. Damn near impossible to hurt. He's just a big fucking dude. He's got a strong arm. Obviously, a big knock on Mr. Allen is that he turns over the ball a lot, which he does. Throws a lot of interceptions, fumbles the ball quite a bit as well. But as many turnovers as he gives you 3 times as many touchdowns. So take that how you want. I can't sit here. I'm not the Dolphin fan who's going to be totally biased and sit here and feed lies like Josh Allen is a scrub. He's not, especially not against the Miami Dolphins. No dual threat has struggled against the Miami Dolphins in a while. And Josh Allen is no exception to that rule. I know last year we were able to beat the Bills and we got them 21-19, but Allen still threw for 400 yards that game, and a lot of that was because they were trying to kill the clock throughout the whole game to keep our offense off the field, and it worked, but I think that's why they ended up losing the football game. Regardless, this is a new game, and it's going to be starting at 0-0 no matter what, so a clean slate for the Miami Dolphins to make everything right and stop Josh Allen this time. Unfortunately, who's going to be the outside pass rushers? For me, it's probably going to end up being Emmanuel Ogbah and Andrew Van Ginkel. Now, I love Van Ginkel, but, a lot different than having Bradley Chubb and Jalen Phillips back there because Allen's going to roll out a whole lot, and I'd like to see who's going to keep up with him. Who's going to be able to chase him down? Damn sure ain't going to be Ogbah. Damn sure ain't going to be Melvin Ingram. He was getting bowled over last week by the Ravens. Just pancake blocked. He might as well not even have showed up to the stadium. I don't know why they chose to activate him over Ogbah, because Ogbah has been 10 times whatever Melvin Ingram was trying to do last week. I don't want to see that man on the field at all. But anyways, Josh Allen's going to do a whole lot of getting to the outside of the pocket and trying to throw over the middle, in my opinion. There's going to be a lot of dump-offs to the tight end. And if they were watching that Baltimore Raven film, they'll be throwing down the right side a lot as well, because last week, the right side of the field was absolute gift wrap for the Baltimore Ravens. Had to be at least 6 to 7 plays, guys running wide open, no one within 5 to 10 yards down the right side of the field. And doesn't help that Xavier Howard's going to be out. So we'll see what happens. I mean, the good news is that the Miami Dolphins just got destroyed by a dual threat quarterback. And because of that, they'll have a chance to adjust and realize, hey, what we did last Sunday, we got to do the absolute opposite this Sunday. And we'll see. We will see. I think it's going to have to be a game where you bring the pressure. I mean, you're going to have to accept the fact that Buffalo's going to score some points, and you kind of got to see if you could get them off their game a little bit and minimize the damage that they're going to do, like the Dolphins did in that playoff game last year. We really had the Bills offense off kilter, throwing some interceptions, fumbling. We got a defensive touchdown. Really, if we could get pressure on Allen, there's a good chance that we could get them off their game. We'll see, though. Also, Jalen Ramsey, he better be shadowing Stephon Diggs, because I don't know what other receiver I don't think they even have a number 2 receiver. Gabe Davis is all right, but, half the time he doesn't even catch a pass. So you get on Diggs, you get on Kincaid. You could probably slow these guys down a little bit, at least not let them put up 48 points again. But we'll see. I mean, this is what the Dolphins wanted, right? You got your bell rung early in the season by the Bills, and now you get a chance to redeem yourselves, especially defensively. In my opinion, I don't think it's going to go that great. I think the Bills are going to score quite a few points this game. I could be wrong, but that's just how I see it. Flipping to the offensive side of the football for the Miami Dolphins, we'll see. Waddle's probably not going to be playing. Tyreek, he's been playing hurt for the past few weeks. We will see with Tyreek Hill and Devon Achane and what the Miami Dolphins can muster up on offense. I'm saying this again. Use Chase Claypool more. He is so much better than Robbie Chosen. And I know he dropped that pass in the end zone. And people are going, well, that's why they don't use him. There's your answer. Dude, you throw that ball 5 more times, he comes up with it at least 3. And, I get that he dropped it, but it was a ball thrown up in double coverage. And, it was his first opportunity. And he sold it, but, I'm sure he'd love to have it back. And, I don't know what other receiver we could throw jump balls to. I know Waddle and Hill could get them sometimes if the defender's back is to the pass. But if you're just throwing a jump ball and the defender's there and ready for it, who other than Claypool do we have that's going to go up and get those balls in the red zone? Because I tell you damn sure, you don't want to throw in a double coverage like he did with Claypool to Tyreek Hill. Even though Hill is an absolute phenomenal receiver, not taking anything away from the guy. Tyreek Hill might be one of my favorite Dolphins of all time. But his motto is get him the ball in an open space and let him dart down for a quick 30 yards. Anyways, as far as this game goes, I really think that Tua Tagovailoa is going to have another game like he did week 1 against the Chargers for Miami to win this game. He's going to have to get out of the pocket, find people off script. It's going to have to take some deep shots. I mean, he's going to have a masterful game to win this football game, in my opinion. The Bills' D-line, they're big, they're strong, they're going to bust through a little bit. So, I mean, just like last week, I don't think running up the middle is going to be too much of a viable option. You might be able to get them on the outside with Achane a little bit. I know they did to the Ravens. They got a couple big runs with Achane, so we'll see what happens as far as that goes. But I really think if we're going to win this game, the passing game, once again, is going to have to come through. And if the Bills go up by 10 points, we can't press. You can't make a 10-point lead turn to a 20-point lead for the Bills. You got to stay in there, and you just got to keep firing away. And, you're going to have to take some shots for sure. There's going to have to be some deep balls for Tyreek Hill. You're going to probably have to get a couple of big plays in order to win this game. A couple of 50-yard bombs, whatever it takes, right? But anyways, that's just the way I see things offensively. Ultimately, I know it sounds pessimistic, and people don't want to hear it. But after last week, I don't know if we could keep up with any of these top teams with dual-threat quarterbacks. And I know that people don't like to hear that. But I can't lie to you guys. I got to be 100% honest with the way I feel. Doesn't mean that I can't be wrong. The Buffalo Bills play down to their competition more often than not. And I'm not even saying that they're at a much higher level than us right now, because they're not. But with the Dolphins dealing with all these injuries right now, they're going to have to really show that they can battle adversity to win this football game. So we'll see if Mike McDaniel and this team lives by their motto and shuts me the fuck up and wins this game. But if I got to throw a prediction out there, I'm going Buffalo Bills 31-24. That's just how I honestly feel about it. We will see what happens when the game actually happens. And I will talk to you all Sunday night, late night video. And either going to be a celebration of an AFC East title. Look, if the Dolphins get the AFC East title, I'm going to be off the scotch for sure. And yeah, we'll see what happens. But anyway, like I said before, I appreciate anyone that takes the time to listen. I know that we probably don't have a ton of videos left as far as Dolphin videos go. But maybe there are. Maybe there's like 6 more previews and the Dolphins win this fucking Super Bowl. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Anyways, I appreciate you. Fizz the fuck up.